You're not understanding the way they work. Last week, I put out a video where I said to all the people following us that you need to do your shadow work. The video stated that unless you are doing your shadow work, don't contact me. Yes, I said that. For one thing, I'm very busy. Secondly, I said that I've eliminated the one thing that slows down many people in their work or makes people hate their jobs: personalities. I have friends who are high vibrationals who do their shadow work and we have no problem getting along. Do I belong to some kind of elite club or something? Am I just terminally special? Do I think so much of myself that I can decide who is worthy and who isn't? No. Do I love 3D and 4D? No, I don't. I've lived here all my life as an alien consciousness in a world where people apparently can kill or harm others they have a disagreement with. Suffice it to say, that's pretty scary, because they don't do that on my home planet. Unheard of. We are all pretty shell-shocked at being here, I suppose, at least those of us who come from peaceful, loving worlds. I was out calling Merlin the other night at 3 a.m. in the morning. A guy riding a bike stopped and started hovering around the intersection near me. So I went in, got my cell phone, went back outside and called the police. What is this guy doing riding a bike at 3 a.m.? Probably casing homes or looking to break into cars. I just happened to be outside and so I gave a description of him, and wisely, he got back on his bike and left when he saw me make the call. By the way, I make so few phone calls that it turns out the police are one of my most frequent call destinations. I've had to deal with methed up drivers who become hysterical with me because I wouldn't turn left into traffic. The guy paralleled me and my sister in the parking lot until we finally stopped face to face and I held up 9 fingers, held up 1 finger and held up 1 finger again and then pointed at him. He got the message and left in a hurry. They don't like cops but they think they can intimidate a couple of old ladies. Sorry lot. This doesn't happen on my home planet. I've had to deal with things here that are unheard of where I come from. Which is my point. You must understand one thing about me and most likely many other light workers who have, despite the odds, managed to make contact with their higher selves. The dark ones have it in for us. No, I'm not paranoid. I talk to people who can see them and they tell me that they're constantly being watched by dark entities, demonics, reptilians, archons, you name it. My entire life, but especially since I started to wake up after September 11th, has been more and more of their attacks. Fortunately, I have a good friend in Archangel Michael. Yes, I'm a Blu-ray. So is he. These light workers have managed to do what you're still trying to do, contact your higher self and your guides. Despite the odds and the hell I went through trying to do so, I still got there. As soon as I did, guess what? I was sent a handler, an abusive drug addict, and I left him. The next thing they did was hit me with direct energy weapons and sent men in black around to my place at 4 a.m. Still didn't stop me. Don't worry, I took care of them. From there, it's been a litany of black-eyed neighbors to reptilian neighbors, drunks, drug addicts, and other mentally unstable sorts who try to make their way into my life. I keep them all out. I've also heard from a reptilian that I'm on their wanted list because I've killed so many of them. There's a price out for my head. I'm not worried. The Negative Alien Alliance has tried its damnedest to stop any human from ever making contact with their higher self and guides, but these strong light workers have done that despite their attempts to stop us. And some of those attempts range from intimidation to homicide attempts. This is a regime that is multidimensional and psychotic in nature. This regime does not value life. They don't care about us and I'm sure they'd rather have us dead than alive. You may remember the sad story of Isis Astera, Cobra's mate who was killed by Deuce. For some reason, the light couldn't intervene to save her. They have killed us before. Ivo and I talk about life on Earth as being like the Matrix. And it is. When you are not doing your shadow work and you approach me for whatever reason, you are putting yourself in a position to suffer being manipulated by the dark forces. Why? Because unwittingly, you will be entering into and allowing yourself to be used in this war they have going with me. They can't get to me. I just laugh at them. But they can get to you, and they will do so in order to get you to create chaos in my life. They will use you as a Mr. Smith. Remember the way Mr. Smith suddenly appeared to flap his head back and forth and you could see he turned into someone ready to combat Neo? Well, unless you have good control of your mind, the Dark Ones will use you to combat me. It's happened over and over and over and over, and I just know what to expect now whenever new people come calling. I cannot have friends on this planet, unless these friends are capable of dealing with demonic attachments and matrix mind control. If you are not there yet, don't contact me because they will use you to try to get at me. Do you really want to be part of the battle I have going on? Now that I tell you all of this? Yes. I fight to be able to do this work. It's not an easy job to do. I have 6 angels and 4 of them are for protection. I also have guards and there is always Archangel Michael to be grateful for. Recently, I booted Archon invaders out of my home. I wrote a page up about it on my website. Archangel Michael and I work together with my defense team to keep them out of here. I haven't smelled their stench in a few weeks as a matter of fact. They try to tag me and implant me, I just have Athena remove them. I do regular chakra maintenance to improve any moods and bring my vibe back up. The one thing they can have control over is you. Your unconscious mind is a wonderful medium for these dark marauders to come and try to F my life up again. I'm very good at seeing it coming, don't worry. If you are not strong in your light and doing your shadow work, we can't be friends. And that's for your sake as much as mine. I've had perfectly nice interactions with people suddenly just go south, for no reason whatsoever, the person just showed their dark side. And I won't deal with that. I understand what's going on, and frankly feel responsible about it enough to warn you not to contact me, because I will not allow you to become part of the personal war the Dark Ones have going with me. I have left the Matrix and have more power than these Dark Ones have and they want to stop me because they know I'm a threat to them. So are others who are like me. The ones who have done our shadow work. I don't fear them, I have killed them and think nothing of it, and I know what to look out for to see them operating in people. I've got it figured out. What I don't know, my team covers for me and protects me. I've already killed my reptilian of 40 years, good old Tertian. He did his best to mess up my life, but I still caught on to him and gained enough power to put him 6 feet under. My life is a war, folks. Do you really want to be part of this? What do you expect for someone who is an aspect of Athena, goddess of war and wisdom? They don't want her back on this planet in any form but they have her. I'm not the only one. Sometimes I wonder if the other aspects put up with what I do. Years ago, I learned a lot about the way the Dark Ones work when I set up groups on Facebook. I learned that the first few people who join a light worker group are yes, light workers, but among them are trolls. These trolls sit silently, never even letting you know they're there, until such time your group hits a certain number, about 1500. Then suddenly, these sleepers start creating arguments in the group. This happened in a couple of my groups before I caught on. This is the divide and conquer programming that Facebook also uses, and they use it here on YouTube. That's why I have comments shut off and have had for years. Because trolls will show up here and the unaware will start fighting with them. Not on my dime, you're not. I realize I'm missing a lot of nice comments and I miss you guys, but in the same way, I don't have to referee the fights and arguments of people too unaware to realize they're being sucked in by trolls. People who are not doing their shadow work. In my Facebook group, what I started doing was asking questions, yes, but also going to the person's profile and checking it out. Some things were easy to see that the person would not be appropriate for my group, like they ridiculed people or were likely to be shit disturbers. Other times I would look at their picture and get a yes or a no, and the ones I got a no on were denied access to my group. The group fell silent again, and peace resumed. I can tell even by looking at your face whether you are likely to start arguments or not. That's how sensitive I am to vibrational frequency. But that wasn't it. Those experiences I had long ago were only the Matrix's first attempts to stop me. You see, they want to ensure that I influence as few people as possible, because they know that Ivo and I awaken people. They know we're higher dimensionals from Vega. They know our books are full of light codes to help people awaken. And they hate us because we have come here to stop them in their tracks. They censor my work. People complain they don't get my posts. I can see on YouTube that the number of likes is always 1/3 the number of viewers. I know that my videos don't get circulated as much as someone's who is not fighting the system, obviously. Other channelers like me are also similarly censored. Even the stats on my website are rigged. Apparently the same 1,000 people visit my website every week, never more never less. Well, thank you for reading the site, you 1,000 people. It's probably much higher but big tech doesn't want me to know that. I have intuition. They can tell me the real numbers if I really wanted to know. That's the other reason they hate people like me, we don't depend on them. But that's scratching the surface. This war is being fought on many levels and on a personal basis. I can't afford to make friends with people. I have told you everything from I run a service, and I don't deal with egos, but this is the truth as well. I have a personal war going on with dark entities and you don't want to get mixed up in it. If you think that the Dark Ones are not going to fight to keep this planet, and to keep you mind-controlled, guess again. Those of us who have come out as influencers now certainly are aware of what they're doing. And probably not even all of it,